What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the first ever off-ball show with me, the host, Japal Chahal, and my other co-host, Jordan Stebbins. If you want to introduce yourself, Jordan, you can.
My name's Jordan Stebbins. I'm about 18 years old, and I'm the biggest Dallas Mavericks fan you'll ever meet. To my left, if it's on my left, it is Japal, the biggest bandwagon you'll ever meet.
That is 100% cap, but my name's Japal Chahal. About to turn 18 in a few days. I'm committed to Texas Tech University as a five-star receiver, and we got a lot of stuff planned for y'all. Today, we're going to talk about a lot of touchy subjects, but the order we're going to go in is we're going to talk about the NBA Finals Game 1, which just ended a few hours ago, which was a show, and I bet a lot of people didn't expect the outcome. Then we're also going to talk about the Rachel Nichols, Jimmy Butler situation that is real spicy, and I don't know, I fell asleep last night and I woke up this morning, my Twitter was blowing up. We're also going to talk about the NBA free agency, which is a really touchy subject for me and Jordan Stebbins. And we also got a few little interesting things after that lined up for y'all.
All right, everybody. On the first episode of the Off Ball Show, our first subject will be none other than Game 1 of the NBA Finals between the Phoenix Suns and Milwaukee Bucks. The Phoenix Suns won 118 to 105. And what are your thoughts on that, Japal?
It was I wasn't expecting it. I really thought the Bucks were going to pull out game 1
Really?
in Phoenix, but you know what? The Phoenix Suns showed up with a killer mentality as the Bucks showed up with no defense.
That is
And you
true.
can see that if you watch the game, the amount of defense the Bucks played was utter than non-existent. I had texted Jordan Stebbins during the game saying, "This looks like an All-Star game," because it was pitiful. And
Yes.
if the Bucks keep playing defense like this, Suns in 4.
Really? That's a bold take there, Cotton. I'm sorry.
Why'd you call me God?
Dude, that's a movie line. That's a movie line. But all right. Anyways, I think we'll keep that in. Anyways, you want to redo that? I think I liked it. This is good.
I
This is
like
good.
I
But
like
anyways, I did think the Bucks were gonna win tonight's game. I bet $10 on the Bucks. If I won, I would have gotten $27. And I lost, and I wasn't expecting it. I'd rather the Suns win this series, but for tonight, I really thought Giannis coming back would, they'd overpower him for game 1. But I was wrong. Usually in all the game 1s, the Bucks suck, so I don't know why I didn't think of that.
we should probably be grateful that Jordan was late for the parlays. He would have lost a lot of money.
Yeah, well, I would have put a parlay on Devin Booker and Chris Paul scoring over 28, obviously. And did Devin Booker score over 28? I think he did.
Devin Booker only
He
had
scored
20
27.
points.
He scored
27
27.
points, yeah.
So I would
But
have
Chris Paul
lost,
had 32.
but I would have been 1 point off from probably making, I don't know, a nice $100 or so. But that's too darn bad. I lost $10 again. I've not hit a bet on the Bucks yet. But really,
The last parlay Jordan played was it Brook Lopez?
that was actually the first
You're
one.
like-
I was 3 assists away from $2,000. The second one, I put a parlay on a lot of things that happened, and it wasn't even close. So we're not going to even talk about that. But here we are, game 1, Bucks lose to the Suns.
Yeah, the Suns really whooped the Bucks. I mean, the box score really doesn't tell it, 118 to 105, but the way the Suns won, it felt like a 30-point game. It felt like they won by
It really
30
did.
points.
It really did.
And I'm gonna name off some stats. So so Giannis, he's gonna do Giannis. He had 20 points, 17 rebounds, but
The
he had
rebounds
3
were good.
turnovers.
Hey, he
Re-
didn't score a lot of points, though. You'd expect
Hey.
him to score 30, but he's coming off of injury. It's understandable.
Yeah, a hyperextended knee, but I mean, when you're 7'7",
Yeah.
17 rebounds is like that's nothing when you're
nothing.
7'7". But the biggest part I feel like of why the Bucks lost was Drew Holiday.
Exactly.
The box score says he went 0 for 4 from 3, 4 for 14 from the field with 3 turnovers, and he was minus 16.
Yeah, minus 16. And, I mean, if you look at the Bucks plus minus, the only guy that was a plus was Giannis, and he was a 1 point plus. I mean, there's other guys like Pat Connaughton and Jeff Teague, but, those guys, even if they were plus 10, they're not going to win you the game. Like, Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton cannot, and Brooke Lopez cannot be like seven. Brooke Lopez was a minus 17, and Drew Holiday was a minus 16. You can't have that in the NBA Finals.
Hey, but can we agree that Brooke Lopez went out there and started banging threes like it was nobody's business?
He did. I did make I don't know if I sent it to you. I forgot. I didn't. I made it, and then the game was on, so I just forgot to, send my glorious creation. But I made that Thanos meme where he says, "Fine, I'll do it myself," and I put Brooke Lopez's face on there. But in reality, Brooke Lopez kind of sucked. Besides those threes, but on defense, he's a liability. Chris Paul and D Book were just getting the switch on him and then just going to the hoop.
Yeah, I don't know why Milwaukee thought it was a good idea for Brooke Lopez on the switch to stay on D Book. Because if you hear the commentators, they're like, that's the Bucks' decision. They wanted Brooke Lopez to be on D Book. Like, okay, Brooke Lopez might be a good defender on guards, but D Book ain't no regular guard. He a bucket.
Yeah,
He's the next coming of Kobe.
Okay.
You can't just put Brooke Lopez and that makes D Book feel disrespected. That gonna make D Book go out there and drop 50 next game. If you keep doing that. So they need to figure stuff out on that pick and roll switch. And if the Milwaukee Bucks could do that, I feel like Devin Booker will be shut down.
Yeah, that's the same way I see it. You know what? I want to talk about a few guys on the Suns that aren't the stars. But before I say this, big shout out to DeAndre Ayton. Man was looking like prime Shaq, 20 and 20. Like,
This
man
whole
was
playoffs,
unstoppable.
yes.
This
Whole
whole playoffs,
playoffs,
he's been
yeah.
like that. Well, I want to take a deep dive into Mikal Bridges and Cameron Johnson, two role players. I mean, Mikal Bridges is a starter, but he's a role player considered in the Suns team, and they just came out to play.
Yeah, definitely. Because I think I saw on Twitter the other day Cam Johnson was shooting over 60% from three this whole playoff, and it's his third year in the league, third or second.
Yeah, I think it's
He's drafted with Kobe White.
Yeah, and he was at the time when he got drafted. Everybody was like, "What are the Suns doing?" It was like a top 10 pick, and everybody was freaking out. But now he's looking like one of the best picks in that draft.
Hey, and let's not forget how Cam Johnson finished college in 3 years and is now working on his master's degree. Big shout out to Cam Johnson.
Really? Did not know that.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
And let's see. Okay, look at this. Okay, yeah, Cam Johnson might be -1, but he has some key steals. He was ripping the ball out of Giannis's hand while he was on the ground.
Was selling, just doing that. The ball's going all over the place. The Suns get the fast break bucket.
Yeah, but the real star for the Suns, Chris Paul, 32 points,
yeah.
4 for 7 from 3,
Started
12 for
slow.
19.
He only had a few points.
He was
in the first
plus
half.
17. Yeah, and he went plus for what? I think he had 18 to 20 points in the third by itself.
Yeah,
he was banging those threes out there,
cooking.
man. He was looking like prime Paul.
Yeah,
And-
right when you think the Bucks had a chance to come back, then Chris Paul just started unleashing takeover mode, just scoring all the floaters. He likes to do that little kind of get the defender on his back, little floater layup looking thing. But then those threes he hit, that really just ended the Bucks.
Yeah, Chris Paul did have a slow start to the game. Well, I think he went 0 for 3.
Yeah,
he was trying to hit those
wasn't
little
looking good.
mid-range fadeaways.
Yeah.
But okay. One thing that surprises me, not really surprising me, but I didn't expect from the way he's been playing recently, is Jay Crowder. 0 for 8. 0 for 5 from 3.
Yeah, he only scored
1 for
point.
2 from the free throw line.
Yeah,
But he had
only
9
point.
rebounds. So,
9
I mean,
rebounds. Yeah, he's good to. I don't know. With Jay Crowder, it's either going to be a good offensive night, but if he doesn't have a good offensive night, he's just going to be good on defense. That's what he does. I mean, they still won this game by what? 13, 12 points, and he only had 1 point. So that's a good sign for the Suns.
he was plus 19, the highest out of every Suns player in this
Yeah.
game, plus 19, which is
the little
absolutely
things.
wild. When you look at 1 point, but plus 19, you know he's doing work.
He's doing it. Big shout out to Brawadis as well. Can't forget
Oh my
about
God.
Suns super fan who Japal doesn't like, but I like. I've been watching Brawadis on YouTube for a fat minute. Back whenever the Suns were the worst team in the NBA, and he was punching the TV on draft lottery night. And now I'm sure he's really enjoying this, as I would too if the Mavs ever made the finals again.
The only reason Jordan likes Broward is because they both suck at draft lotteries. Mavs and Suns. They suck at the draft
Mavs
lottery.
have never moved up once in their entire history of the NBA. Not once.
I'll tell y'all
How is
this.
that possible?
I've been watching Bravadas since 2015.
Yeah.
In the OG house where him and Rugg used to stay at.
Mm-hmm.
I liked him. But right when these playoffs started,
What
I
they
blocked
beat
them on
your
Twitter.
they beat your Lakers, huh?
No, no, I blocked them before they beat us. I mean, we were banged up. I'm not gonna say any excuses.
They,
Everybody's already heard them on
they still
Twitter,
would have
so I'm
won.
not.
They still would have won.
No, no,
You
I'm
see
not
the
even
way
gonna
they're
get into
playing?
it. I might just quit this show if we bring this up.
Okay,
But
I won't bring it up again.
okay, thank you. But early game, D Book on the line and went 10 for 10 from the free throw
Oh
line.
my!
I mean, it
How
is
have we not talked
expected.
about this yet? What did they shoot? 25, 26 from free throw line, something like
I
that.
think I think this on the box score it says the Suns went 25 for
Yeah,
26. And
96%.
that
In
is
a
absolutely
finals game.
wild.
If you're shooting like that, just the other team needs to pack their bags. Bucks go back to Cancun, just like how y'all lost to the Heat last year. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know if I've ever seen a free throw percentage that great in an NBA Finals game.
Beautiful, man. It's
Mm-hmm.
beautiful. And here's my thing. When Sarge went out, I was like, "Oh man, that's going to be
Yeah,
bad for the Suns cuz they don't have that many big men."
yeah,
But it proved that it was a good thing
yeah. I
cuz
mean,
the Suns just cooked.
yeah, the
I
Bucks
mean, they did
shot
get out
9 for
rebounded by like
16.
4 rebounds. They got out rebounded by 4. It was
Really?
47 to 43 on
Okay, it was closer than I
rebounds.
thought.
But
Oh, man,
don't matter.
I thought it was
Don't
like by
matter.
20, but yeah, the Bucks just shot poor from free throw. They were 56% from free throw. Only made 9 out of 16, and part of that was Giannis. Actually, Giannis he shot 58%, but he shot 7 for 12. I think we should applaud Giannis for that. Usually he shoots 7 for 30, but hey,
It is
uh,
what it is. He did bang out a 3. They left him open. He sunk it. He sunk that hoe.
yeah, I was
Okay.
surprised by that. But
Mhm.
I think it's gonna be a good series. I think I got the Suns. Hey, it could go either way. I think it's gonna go 6 or 7. It's a toss up to me, but we'll see. Who do you think is
Yeah.
gonna win the finals?
Man, honestly, right now it's looking like the Suns in
Yeah,
5.
and
Because I feel like
5.
the Bucks. Because here's the thing, I feel like the Bucks could squeeze one at home. But I don't know. After watching the Suns today,
I don't
they're
know.
playing like
I'm
they
a
were playing
believer of the
like they.
Bucks. I'm a believer of the Bucks because look at
Yeah,
this. Drew Holiday had a bad game. He'll bounce back. Like
nah, Drew Holiday looked like Dennis Schroeder out there.
yeah, he's looking like Eric Bledsoe, but with the Holiday on his back. But anyways, um,
Can we just acknowledge how Milwaukee Bucks went 6 for 36 from 3, and the Suns went 11 for 34, and they still won the game?
the Bucks.
I
Went
find that
what?
wild. 16 for 36 from 3,
And
44%, and the Suns went 32%.
man, it's the mid range. Hey.
It's
I-
not
we- I've
dead. The
been in- I've been in
mid-range game is
debates.
not
The mid-range
dead.
game is not dead if you are good at it. You have to
That
be
is
a
true.
good shooter. Like you just, I don't know. You
Nah,
have to
but
be
if you pull up
effective at it.
if you pull up to the courts and at like a regular game in Longview and you're shooting mid-range shots, you might get punched.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ain't nobody trying to see that mid-range game unless it's in the NBA.
Yeah, especially Alex Ing, who likes to do like contested fadeaway mid ranges when there's a wide open 3. We're not going to get into that subject yet. Whenever he's a special guest on the show, we can get into that topic. But I think we've talked enough about the Bucks. Probably spent like 20 minutes on it. I think I want to transition into the Jimmy Butler, Rachel Nichols story that broke around 2, 3 in the morning last night, and I was up
Man.
for it. What are your thoughts on that?
Okay, so for some background information, while they were in the bubble, an article came out how Jimmy Butler had noise complaints coming
Yeah.
from his room,
He's drenched.
and he opened the door fully drenched in sweat, saying he was dribbling a basketball.
Yeah.
Okay,
No, that's cap, Jimmy.
yeah. Who's fully sweaty, dribbling a basketball in a hotel room?
I don't know.
Unless
Yeah.
you on the court, okay.
Yeah. I don't think, dude,
And-
honestly, if I'm dribbling it on the court, I don't think I'm getting sweaty like that.
No, okay. See, if I'm doing
Unless
like
you're
a
running
full out
sprints in your
workout,
room.
like okay, how big can a room be where you're fully sweaty and you got room to
Yeah,
dribble a basketball? That's it. But
I don't know if you know
if you saw
this,
those,
but apparently there's another person who bagged Rachel Nichols in the bowl. I don't know if you know this. Bucks
don't tell me
legend,
how.
not really a legend, but last year he was on the Bucks. Ursan Ilyasova, however you say it,
Oh, I
passed
know that.
Rachel
Oh my God, I
Nichols
hate that guy.
to Jimmy Butler. Apparently, it was like a assist. Ursan was like, "Hey Jimmy, we got you." This is probably bad to be talking about. I'm just gonna cut the subject there. That's just all we
Rachel
know.
Nichols was being passed around, and now she getting salty she wasn't in the finals.
Yeah, this isn't a
Man,
true 100% report. This is just us, just talking about it. It's probably not true, but it could very well possibly be true.
it is a high chance. It is a high chance.
Yeah.
She might get fired.
To be honest,
I
I don't
heard
know where
reports
this
she might get
report
fired.
came with. I do not know where this came with. It just kind of. What happened was on Twitter, it was like 4 in the morning, someone just tweeted, Jimmy Butler did what? And then everyone started talking about it and kind of just assuming. So that's all I know about it.
Until Woj puts a tweet out that
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler, Rachel Nichols, I'm not going to believe it. I'm not going to 100%. I'm like 80%. I believe that it happened. I believe.
Really? 80%. I'm 20% it happened. Maybe 10%.
Why else do you think Jimmy Butler dropped a triple-double on us in the finals? Just saying.
True.
Just saying.
They,
And the
Rachel
way
Nichols-
Rachel was talking to Jimmy in the interviews.
I was about to bring that up. They did have a connection. Well, hey, maybe
a
they're just
connection.
good friends. Moving on,
Wait,
we
two
do
good
want to talk
friends.
about some free agents, or should we say that for next episode? Do you want to talk about it right now?
Talk about it later.
Later?
I'll keep the paper.
Okay.
I'll keep the paper saved.
Since this has been a long episode, we're gonna finish off the episode with some fun little questions I have for Japal. I might tune in. I might say something about it too if there's a debate going on. But let me get this started. We're gonna play a which is harder game. Okay.
Oh man!
Big shout out to House of Highlights Instagram story. This is
Shout
where I
out
found it.
Omar. Shout out
Omar,
Omar.
yeah.
Brown boys on top.
Yes. All right. So the first one I have for you: which is harder, hitting a 100-mile-per-hour baseball, okay, or making a half-court shot?
Huh. Okay, here's the thing. In baseball, you see a lot of 100 miles per hour fastballs, and people be hitting them.
Yeah,
But are we talking about half-court
you.
shot? Okay,
Like,
me?
not a major leaguer. You like just say
Me?
they're like, hey, come
Okay.
hit this 100-miler, or is a half-court harder?
Okay, 100 miles harder for me
Okay. Yeah.
because
yeah.
we were in Jordan's front yard after swimming one day, and one threw me an underhand pass, and I absolutely missed it.
Absolutely.
It was
whipped.
probably going like, it was like 2 miles an hour.
Yeah.
It was
Well,
bad. But
I-
I've hit a half-court shot playing around before.
Yeah, half-court shots 10 times easier than hitting a 100-mile-per-hour fastball.
Now,
Okay.
if we're talking about major leaguers and the NBA, hitting a 100-mile-per-hour fastball for a major leaguer is way easier because you don't see
I don't know.
you don't see players making half-court shots in the NBA on a daily basis. You see
Yeah, but
major leaguers smacking
okay,
100 per hour.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I
You see
that.
it.
I agree with that. All right. For the second question of which is harder, a hole-in-one or throwing a no-hitter in baseball? Do you know what a no-hitter is in baseball? Do I need to explain?
I'm a Rangers fan, and I witnessed a few this year.
Yeah. About 10. I feel like.
A hole-in-one. I feel like I feel like a hole-in-one's harder.
Then throwing
A
a
hole
no-hitter.
in. Okay, you see no hitters, right? You see them.
Okay,
You see 'em.
Usually it doesn't happen this much in the season. Like, the Rangers were just bad at the time.
That's the thing.
Okay.
Yeah. A hole in one's way harder, man.
Yeah,
if
I
you
agree with
haven't
that,
played
probably.
golf, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know how hard a hole in one
Okay.
is. I'm happy if I could get it on the green on a par 3 on my first off the tee box.
All right. Well,
It doesn't happen, but sometimes it makes me feel good. A hole in one ain't happening.
All right. If you get this one wrong, I might have to just retire from the podcast. Which is harder, a hat trick in soccer or a triple double in the NBA?
Hat trick? I mean,
Is that your
what
final
do you
guess?
think? It's my okay. You
that
see
your
Russell
answer?
Westbrook out here. Okay, my final answer is triple double. I mean, my final answer is a hat trick in soccer, because you see players like Russell Westbrook dropping one every game.
Okay.
Even Messi or Ronaldo can drop hat tricks every game,
Exactly.
and they're the greatest in the world.
Exactly.
Unless you put Pele out there, he gonna make it look like it's easy.
By the way,
He's just
huge game. I think it's Saturday or Sunday. Brazil versus Argentina. Messi versus Neymar in the final.
former
the
teammates.
Euro Cup final or something.
Did you see the PK that sent Italy to the Euro
Yeah, I was
Cup?
actually watching that in my. I was at Chick-fil-A and the little curbside.
Man,
it.
that he faked him
Yeah.
the other way. That goalie went flying. He
I mean,
just
I was
like
kind of
tapped
hoping
it
he
into the
missed,
goal.
and then they kind of go to like sudden death or something, but it didn't happen. All right,
Oh, can we bring this topic up
what's
that
up?
bench players in the NBA are good? We see Mo Wagner playing for the Germany team.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes
He was
Mo
getting
Wagner's
buckets,
looking like
man.
demigod, just straight created from the
Hey,
basketball
they get the
gods.
big bucks for the reason. They get big bucks for. They're not just sitting on the bench because they suck. They don't suck. They're in
Yeah,
the league for a
yeah,
reason.
yeah. Let's see. I got one more for you.
Okay,
If that's
okay.
all right with you. I
No
wanna
rush.
find a. Actually, I have a few. I actually have a few, just 2 or 3 more. All right, who's the more underrated player, DeAndre Ayton or Chris Middleton?
Chris
It's a
Middleton's
tough one.
overrated.
He's
Chris Middleton's
overrated.
overrated.
I think
Overrated.
he's
DeAndre
underrated.
Ayton is so underrated. Think about it. Did you see the numbers DeAndre Ayton's putting up? Like, let's just say
Chris
this.
Middleton put up some
DeAndre
numbers.
Ayton went. Okay,
Put up
DeAndre
what?
Ayton put
29
up
points.
19 rebounds, 22 points, 8 for 10. 8 for 10.
Okay,
Middleton, 12 for 26 with 29 points. And
he had 7 rebounds.
DeAndre
4
Ayton is
assists.
so much more underrated. I'm not saying he's better than Chris Middleton because they
Okay,
play both.
okay.
They both play different positions,
Yeah,
but
all right.
DeAndre Ayton's way more underrated.
Okay, well, I think Chris Middleton gets a lot of hate around the league. Like, I don't think he's brought up enough, but that's for another time. All right, this one's a
He
big
looks like Kobe.
Who's better in their prime? Kings DeMarcus Cousins or Chris Bosh?
Man, you got me right there. These questions have been easy,
I got
but
it.
this one,
If you want my answer, I'm leading DeMarcus Cousins. That man was looking like he was going to end up as the top center of all time.
wait, who was the second player? It was Chris
Chris
Bosh,
Bosh,
Brian?
yeah. You got to go with Boogie Cousins.
I'm gonna have to go with Chris Bosh though.
Really?
If you watched him,
Dude,
if you watched Chris Bosh play for the Raptors, it was unbelievable what he was doing. Even though Mr. Kobe Bean Bryant dropped 81 while he was on the court in Jalen Rose's face, Chris Bosh was different, man. He was getting paid the big bucks for a reason. And DeMarcus Cousins,
it's
okay,
arguable.
his prime, he was decent. But did the Kings ever make the playoffs
Decent?
with him?
You know,
Okay,
I'd
Kings ever make the
counter-
playoffs?
Huh?
Did the Kings ever make the
I
playoffs
don't
with
think so.
prime?
No. No.
Exactly.
I would make a counterpoint there, but I don't remember how good the Raptors were in 2000.
Chris Bosh and Vince Carter
6 to
put
9.
Toronto on the map. Chris Bosh and
Okay.
Vince Carter put Toronto on the map. Let's be honest. But I think Vince Carter's a better Raptor than Chris Bosh will ever be, or better NBA player than Chris Bosh will ever be.
Okay. Another NBA question, and this is our last one. Shout out if you're still here listening to this. I don't know how long it's been. Probably been
Shout out-
45 minutes.
shout out
our
to y'all.
first ever off-ball show podcast episode of all time. And to end this podcast, I want to know who's the greatest team ever. The Chicago Bulls or the Warriors, or you can bring up somebody if you want.
What years are we talking about?
Any,
KD Golden State?
yeah, or the 73 win Golden State
Okay. The 73-9
versus
win
the
Golden
72
State.
win Bulls.
Okay. Okay. The 73-9 Warriors versus the Bulls 72-10 team.
Yeah.
Bulls are whooping them. Bulls are
All right, thank you.
spanking.
Thank you. I
Golden
thought
State
you were about to be a
Warriors.
hater sucker and be like, oh, the Warriors.
No, I will
MJ's
always hate on the
clamping.
Warriors.
Klay Thompson,
Oh.
like he can shoot, but like I feel like he's just gonna get
He
clamped.
can't do anything else. He
It'll be
can,
like it'll just
can
be
he
Curry.
defend?
Clay?
Can he defend?
Who? Clay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, think about it like this. Curry,
He's not stopping
Steve.
MJ.
Okay, Steve Kerr made Curry. Let's be honest. It's probably cap. I'm probably gonna get a lot of backlash for
Yeah.
that. You have Steve Kerr. Was Steve Kerr on that 72-10 win team?
Possibly. You know, I'd assume so. I feel like.
Okay, he's gonna lock up Curry. Dennis Rodman on Clay?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, or you could put you could put Rodman on Draymond. Both are
But-
scrappy defenders.
But
Dennis, I'm scrappy.
you're missing out someone. You're missing with the Martians
Don't
shooting
oh my-
down at Earth. Who would you rather have? The final shot. I want Iguodala. Like,
I'm telling you.
they
Hey,
got
I'll tell you
Iguodala
this.
too, but I'm going Bulls.
I'm going Bulls, but man, I want Iguodala. I want
I
Iguodala.
want to go with all as well.
But Iguodala career ended after blocked by James.
That's
It ended.
true.
Rest in peace.
You got traded
And
like the
MJ,
Grizzlies.
okay, that Bulls team was so stacked. Steve Kerr, Dennis Rodman, MJ, Scottie Pippen. I believe Horace Grant was on that team as well.
Maybe. I
If
don't
he
remember.
was,
He was on one of the teams. I know that.
he was there on one of the few of those championship runs. And think about it. That Golden State team had Steve Kerr as coach. Who gonna outcoach Phil Jackson?
That is
Who
true.
gonna
Phil
outcoach
Jackson's
Phil
outcoaching
Jackson?
Steve Kerr. Just all the X's and O's.
The
Just,
triangle,
it won't be
man. The
close.
triangle offense. Let me put on my Illuminati sign real quick.
Okay.
That triangle
Hey,
offense
it
was
didn't work with the
deadly.
Knicks, but you know it's different.
Hey, the
times.
Knicks suck.
Oh, hey, they
Knicks
got
suck.
Carmelo. You know. But
No, Jeremy Lin is the greatest Knick of all time.
really, over Patrick
Yes.
Ewing.
Yes,
Okay.
I fully stand by that.
Okay.
Melo was just hating on Jeremy Lin, which got him traded.
Alright,
That's
so-
a story for another episode.
Bucks or Suns right now. You can't change it. It's on this podcast right now, and then we're gonna end it.
Suns and 6, man. Suns and 6.
Really? Okay.
Suns and 6.
You know what? I'm gonna go with the Bucks. I think that Drew Holiday and Chris Miller and Giannis
And
are
what?
gonna get it. And what?
Bucks and what? Yeah,
7.
7.
Yeah.
Ooh, that would be a great. This is giving me 2016 vibes over here.
Okay. It's gonna come down to the final minute maybe. But that's
Game
the thing.
6 or Game 7?
I like the Suns.
I don't-
If it's final minute, the Suns are better than the Bucks.
Yeah, because you see, okay, the Bucks go on a little run. CP came out there and just
Yeah, you got
killed them.
The Suns got. Two
I
players
witnessed it
that can just end
firsthand
'em.
with the Lakers. Man,
The Suns got
Alright.
D-Book and Chris Paul to just end them, and then the Bucks. Giannis, he needs to be more. Listen, he's great. He's a top 5 player, but I'm gonna continue to say it. He should have joined Luka, so Luka could carry him. Giannis is more of like a 1B type of player. When there's 2 seconds left, he's not gonna be the guy to take that shot. I don't know why you're over here like this. Okay, when there's 2 seconds left, who would you
and
rather have,
Jordan
Luka or
think
Giannis?
everybody should have joined the Mavs.
Okay, that's just a joke, but Giannis he actually should have. It would have been unstoppable. Execs around the league
Has
were
Giannis-
saying it
Has
would have been
Giannis
unstoppable.
ever made a game winner? I think he has. I don't think he has.
Maybe
I think
I
he's
don't
ever made a
know.
game
Maybe
winner.
like a dunk, maybe once out of 50. Like I'm telling you, I'm not saying Giannis isn't great. He's gonna be an all-time great, but it's like he's not. Like the Bucks have to lean on Chris Middleton to take the game-winning shot. You know,
Can you agree the Bucks shouldn't be here? It should be the Nets.
if the Nets were healthy, yeah.
No, if KD's foot wasn't so big.
Okay, yeah, if his foot wasn't size 30. But that's for another episode. We got a lot of things we're going to talk about in future episodes. But I think it's been a
Y'all
great
stay
episode.
tuned. Y'all
Great
stay
first
tuned.
episode. Stay tuned. Thank you for watching and listening.
Yeah.